heard the Villages are nice.
We got like 3 guys at work that moved down there.
I heard it's like really, really nice.
Yes, it is.
It's like a resort.
Their own little special area.
Exactly. All righty. We are streaming live. Just want to make sure I got no background. All righty. So welcome. Live out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk, hosted by Byron Jones and me, Victor Arocho. Today is July, can you believe it? July 28th.
Yeah.
If you haven't yet, please subscribe to all our channels, the Sportscast on YouTube, on Spotify, on Facebook. We have a Twitter channel. We also have a Jersey Boys podcast. Go to your Apple, hit podcast. You'll see the background that you see behind me. Click on it, subscribe, hit notifications. Do me a favor, give us a nice review. That helps us out tremendously. We are live every Thursday night at 8 p.m. getting revved up for the season. So I am ready to go. Mr. Byron. We're on Spotify, iTunes, Twitter, the whole kit and caboodle. All righty. So, yeah, ready for the season? Get ready to go?
Well, you figure they opened up with training camp the other day. So it's live, all go live. You know, they're in shorts and helmets, and next week they'll be in shoulder pads.
All right, so let me tell you what I want to talk about today, and then I got some of the outline of what is the news being reported. Okay, so I'm just going to go obviously start with the Giants, and then we'll go from that point on. The Giants, they mentioned last anyways. So the New York Giants, I'm going to say all four, okay, and then we'll start with one topic and talk about it, and I'll talk about what the article says, and we'll go from there. We good?
Yeah.
All right, so the New York Giants, the team expectation is be in a position to draft a quarterback in April. Number 2, Dallas Cowboys, team expectation, win the division again. Number 3, Philadelphia Eagles, team expectation, return to the playoffs. Number 4, the Commanders, Washington, team expectation is to make the playoffs. So let's start off with our beloved Giants, right? And I'm just telling you, this is what it says. This wasn't me, and I was pretty shocked when they said it, but they said that's the team expectation. And I'll read a little bit of what it's talking about. Is shiny new toy, obviously, is Thibodeau. The Giants unveiled throwback uniforms to much excitement to their fans. That's probably the high point of the season, their season. This team is going to be so bad, and that's part of the plan. Why would they say that? Okay.
Who wrote that?
I'm going to tell you a second. The easiest way for the Giants to turn things around is to be in position to draft a quarterback high in April. All they need to do is to guarantee that it is a 4-win team and turn it into a 2-win team. Okay, so I'm going to tell you who's writing this whole article. Where's this coming from? Dave Mangles at South Philly. So he's from the Philly area.
Oh, man. Ain't nobody gonna listen to a Philly person.
With great expectations and appointments. So obviously this is one, it says, I can't tell if it's SB Nation. It's Bleeding Green Nation. All right. So this is a Philly fan that wrote this, right? So, but it's ready to talk about it. I thought it was interesting, right? And then we can, I could look at some other pieces, but he pretty much, actually, this may be slide. I just thought it was pretty funny the way they said it. He's talking about Dallas's situation too. So let me just keep this one and look at another. I was shocked at that. Now that I realize, that it's a Philly fan, right? And
I got in the battle. I got no battle with how you want to call it. I guess we might say it was a Giant fan. 2 things. The first thing was that he brought up Daniel Jones being from Duke. As far as Duke is known for basketball. Ain't never been a football school.
Who brought that up?
A friend of mine. A friend of mine brought that up, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I had another one, same ones, a different guy, were brought up with, they're hyping all these quarterbacks. I said, I went down a list. C.J. Stroud, Ohio State. Name one. I said, name one quarterback from Ohio State in the last 10 years that has been any good. He's the top ranked quarterback. Bryce Young, when he goes to the combine and he gets measured, they're gonna see how small he is. So if you sit there and you look at pictures of him, that guy is small. He's like really, really small. He's like a lot smaller than what he lives. Will Levis, the guy from Kentucky, quarterback, he had to transfer from Penn State because he couldn't start at Penn State and went to Kentucky. Anthony Richardson, the guy from Florida, quarterback, but he's the one-hit wonder. The University of Miami, I think Tyler Van Dyke, the other kid's name is. They got all of them got question marks. Every last one of them. And this guy, oh well, we need to get a quarterback next year. I was like, dude, man, give the guy a chance, man. Give my guy a chance. But every last one of them next year has a flaw.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree. Look, red jerseys are a red flag for wide receivers for Saquon shines. Okay, all right. So I just thought it was funny. I don't think it's worth even getting any deeper to this guy's opinions, is because we're going to be so anti them. Number one. So, but they're good to talk about, at least from our side. Let's play with it for right now, right? Okay, so for example, he's talking about the Giants shooting for a 4-win and go down to a 2-win. I don't know about you, but all the things they seem to have been implementing, all the new coaches and so forth, I can't imagine bringing over a staff like that and want to start your brand new year like being really bad. I mean, as a coach, as a competitor, I don't see it in the people coming from a winning organization. You really think that that's what they're going to do? I mean, I can't imagine. I think that's ridiculous. I can't imagine. I don't believe in tanking. I just don't. I believe owners may want to do it and so forth. I just don't think football is too big of a sport and too many people on a team to try to make that happen, in my opinion.
Well, my thing is with the whole that 4-win thing or 2, whatever, their defense is going to keep them in the games. Their defense is going to be pretty good with Wink Martindale dialing up blitzes and stuff. So they're going to be all right on defense. All they got to do is keep the score down. On offense, they do have really good skill players. It's just you got to block and you got to worry about Daniel Jones not being a turnover shit. They're not going to be a 4-win team. There's no way that's possible.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be a 4-1 team either, but that's number one. But my biggest piece was that, my biggest piece was the fact that that the team's expectation is being positioned to pick a quarterback. I think that if Daniel Jones obviously doesn't perform right this year, then you got to do what you got to do, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, I don't think that I don't think that that's what their team expectation is. They're putting too many things around them. They've already taken blame for responsibility. We put the line in there. They're changing some of the offense with Saquon. I'll read the next thing we were talking about, how Saquon seems to be shining. They're actually talking negative about Ezekiel. We'll get to that when we get a chance. But at the end of the day, I just don't. If Daniel doesn't perform this year, okay, they're going to be looking for a quarterback. But I don't think the team is going into the season wanting or feeling he's not going to perform.
Right.
That's my piece.
There you go.
Right. That's my piece. And I think they'll be pretty good. And I think that the NFC East is starting to get better. Right. It's, in comparison to what? In comparison to how bad they've been.
Yeah.
Right. But outside of that, they're getting better. Right. So I thought that was a little bit interesting. But the big talk also has been, I don't know if you're getting it over there, but the big talk has been around Saquon. Like it starts talking about the Giants spring red jerseys are a red flag for the wide receivers. Again, Byron, this is ridiculous. Like we're getting the most fragile wide receivers possible. But Saquon is shining. So what's going on with Saquon that they're talking relatively well, both on the shows and obviously in the news?
Well, they're saying that he looks faster. now since they've come to the 2000s with a new offense, as far as with a lot of motion, the backfield, they're putting them in the slot, they're putting them out wide. That's what they've been saying like the last couple of days of practice. That he's more like a receiver now.
Okay.
And the other thing is not true is as far as the receivers. The receivers not banged up. The only one that's not participating right now is Sterling Shepard, but everybody else is practicing now. And the other tight end that was on the pup list is off now, Bellinger. So all these guys are practicing, and they're all doing pretty. They're doing pretty good.
But projected to be top 3 receiver. So he's projected to be a top 3 receiver.
Who?
But the oh no. He's in the backfield, but the projected top 3 receivers: Kadarius Toney, Holiday, unspecified injuries, and Sterling Shepard, Achilles recovery. Right. So you got Kadarius, Holloway, and all of them are kind of red shirt. They're wearing the red shirt not to be touched. Okay, so that's been a problem for the last couple of years, though. Right.
And the other thing, the kid from Kentucky, Wandell Robinson, they've been lining him up in the backfield too, because he did that, when he played Kentucky, as far as taking handoffs in the backfield, moving into the slot, moving out wide. So they got they're playing a lot for this kid.
They're paying a lot.
Planning a lot.
They're planning a lot. Well, let's hope, hey, but the beauty about this is his opportunity to shine. Right. I mean, if you got these other 3 guys that are injured and so forth, and you're coming in where you're coming in from, you might as well seize that opportunity.
And the other thing is Darius Slayton, the other guy that's been there for a while, he has a case of the dropsies. He's doing the same thing that he's been doing the last 2-3 years.
They're saying that Jones has had his ups and downs during OTAs. Any word on that?
OTAs. They're mini camp now. Mini camp.
Oh, they're mini camp.
Practicing. Yeah, mini camp. He's been fine. He's thrown a couple interceptions like usual, but that's why it's better to do it in practice where you can work the kinks out. But they said he's looked good. He's looked good. The receivers of Kadarius Toney has looked good. Saquon, Robinson. And, even though they're in shorts, they said the big man mountain. Neal looks good, but he was blocking what's the name? Thibodeau in shorts. So we'll see when they put the helmets and shoulder pads on. But him standing next to Thibodeau, that's a big man.
Yep. Well, you also got to remember too. You made a comment that he's thrown a few interceptions. I mean, that's what you practice for. I mean, you got to throw interceptions. I don't care if you throw interceptions in games and stuff. It's just when and how many and what bad decisions you make. But 1, 2, he's also going off. He's also going against that the defense. That my understanding is that the coach is going all out. Like, I mean, he doesn't care who's out there. He's blitzing. Yep. He's going after the offense, right? Yep. So if he can handle, a Giants defense that is supposed to be pretty good, that should only make them better, no?
I hope so. But when they put the pads on and Wink Martindale has them blitzing from as soon as they step out of the locker room, we'll see then, if he's going to get dancing and nervous feet.
All right. So then the next piece is that I've been hearing. So anything else happening with the Giants that's worthy of going further?
Nah, all good.
All good. Okay. So looking good.
This is the first year since 2019 that they let fans come to training camp.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. So they're doing a whole piece. They're trying to get believed.
They've changed. Yeah.
Well, here's the deal with Dallas. They've been talking about Ezekiel. They're thinking that Ezekiel's had his bad years and his time is starting to decline, which is interesting because we were always, talking to him as how good a running back is. Now we're talking about Saquon doing pretty well, but they've been, just really digging at Ezekiel. Is this time over to give more some room for the other guy they got? What are your thoughts on that?
Ezekiel is still, top 5 back probably in the NFL. He still has more yards than anybody, in the last 4 or 5. I think he has like 7,000 yards or whatever in the last 4 or 5 years. They said that he's lost a little weight and he looks more explosive. So, we'll see. And they tooled around with the offensive line a little bit. They got the kid from Tulsa, of course, but supposedly that he looks faster, a little lighter and faster. So we'll see.
Well, there's been a lot of commentators talking about his. They don't really. I don't know. They're not. It wasn't positive on the dialogue they were talking about when it came to Ezekiel over at least today, when I was hearing quite a bit today.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's been dinged up, the last couple of years. The other guy, Pollard,
Right.
taking some carries away from him, and the chance, he's done well, when he's gotten, out in the field. But Ezekiel Elliott is still Ezekiel Elliott. So don't
Yeah.
sleep on him.
Yeah. No, I would agree. Okay, let me see something else. And okay, let me get to something a little bit newer. So, what's happened with the Eagles?
Usual, they're hating on Jalen Hurts, the usual mess that he either has to put up or shut up, because they loaded up with all these, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, whoever the other receiver is, Dallas Goedert, the running backs. They got a top, the best offensive line in all of football, and they just rule, and they put all this stuff in place for him to be able to succeed, and pretty much. He's in the same boat as Danny Dimes, either sink or swim, because they do have 2 number 1 picks next year. So, if they need to move up to get a quarterback, they can.
Yeah, I'd like to see. I think he's going to do pretty good.
I think he's going to do. I just don't want him to do well against the Giants. He can do well against all the other teams. I just don't want him to light up the Giants. That's all I'm worried about. I want to see him good, because he was good at Alabama. He's good at Oklahoma. He seems like a good guy, but to succeed with the other 14 or not 14, the other 15 games, and just screw up the other 2 with the Giants. That's all I'm worried about.
That's funny. The other thing with the Dallas is that they're kind of salary capped out.
Yeah, but a salary cap is like, if you really want to work with these guys, figure a way to get around it all the time. The other thing that came up with Dallas, they had questioned Jerry Jones, as far as Mike McCarthy still being, the coach, and pretty much kind of sort of insinuated that, he's here now, but, I could always make a change later on if this doesn't work out. So that leaves the door open for who? Sean Payton.
I think that would be a bad move for Sean Payton, in my opinion.
Why?
I just don't think he's too good of a coach to be able to deal with Jerry Jones. And maybe you're right. Maybe Jerry Jones is willing to take a step back as he's getting older to win a championship before he moves on to a greater world. But I just don't see it.
Why not?
I don't think that Jerry Jones is I think Peyton is a really good coach, and he should go somewhere else where he get his odds of success and not dealing with an owner like Jerry Jones is better. That's just me. I think
the only other 2 teams they linked his name to were the Los Angeles Chargers,
which I would agree right away,
and the Miami Dolphins. But who's going to pay him the kind of money that Jerry Jones can pay him? Or that star does mean something. With Dallas, where would you rather go? Okay, you got Justin Herbert, Chargers. You got Tua. Hopefully he does well. With Miami. And you got, Dak. So which one of those 3, would he want to work with?
Well, I think it's a combination. I don't think it's just the quarterback. I think it's the ownership, right? I mean, really, the Saints were nothing until he got there.
And they also had a meddlesome owner before,
Yeah, but not to Jerry Jones level.
No, but he was still, all up in the flavor. But if he goes to Miami, he's going to have that with Stephen Ross. Stephen Ross is another guy that's getting up to age. He wants to win now. You don't want to win 10 years from now. He wants to win now. I don't.
They haven't won since he bought the team.
Yeah, I'm just So he wants to win. He wants to win now.
I don't see the Miami. I can't imagine. I don't know if the Dolphins will win a championship in my lifetime.
Why not?
I don't know. I just don't see it.
They've put together nice pieces on offense. The defense is pretty good, but it all depends on Tua. Tua's in the same boat like Daniel Jones and Jalen Hurts. Is either him put up or shut up. There's same thing with Tua. Same exact thing.
But what team has come out of like nowhere to win the Super Bowl? Like nobody. They usually have had a decent years leading up to it. They've spent money to put in like an all-star cast. I mean,
New York Giants, man. Come on, we came from nowhere. The last four that came from nowhere, right? 97.
We didn't come
that good
in 97. Yeah, no, but we weren't bad. Like we weren't, we just
weren't that good either.
We had a lot of good players at that time, right? So I mean, I guess I don't know. I just think that I don't see Dallas as. There's only been one dominant coach that you could say is legendary there, and that besides Jimmy Johnson, and they won't win him, is Bill Parcells. That's it.
Well, you forgot? No, come on, man. Tom Landry. Don't forget Tom Landry.
No. I'm sorry. Besides Tom Landry.
Don't disrespect him.
No. That's a bad look. As much as I can't stand Dallas, okay, I got nothing but props and respect for Landry. He had style, grace on the sideline with his suit. I mean, he was the ultimate coach professional in my opinion. So no doubt. Okay, but
okay, all right.
But that was during Jerry Jones though. Right. So I apologize. It was really more during Jerry Jones' time. Okay.
Okay. All right. You're Sean Payton. Which one of those three jobs would you take?
I'd take Los Angeles. But a heartbeat.
Why?
Guys, it's got all the tools to win a championship. He can win another championships with another team.
But you also have to deal with, as far as the conference, you have the Chargers with who? Kansas City,
true.
Denver, Raiders, and them. Those are the three in there. That's a
harder division. There's no doubt. Yeah.
But then you go Dallas Cowboys. Well, we know what's in that division.
Well, you can win the division.
You go to Miami. You got to deal with Belichick. You got to deal with Buffalo.
Then you got to deal with the AFC.
Yeah. So where would you rather go? I would take the Dallas job. I would go to Dallas.
I know you would. I don't know. I just don't. I mean, I don't know. Something has to be so convincingly for him. I just, he's not going to do it just for the money. He's going to do it to win.
No, he wants some money, so.
Yeah, but he's going to do it to win. No coach is going to. A coach wants to win. He wants to win a championship.
Okay.
I'm just thinking. All right, let's get it going. All right, well, we got that. The Commanders. Okay, we'll go back to Philly in a second because we didn't really give him enough time. I'll stay with Philly. So I know Justin Fields is under the gun again, but he's got a lot of tools. I think they're going to be a pretty good team.
You mean Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts. They're going to be a good team. I think they got a chance to win the conference.
They got a chance to win the Super Bowl. That's what they're talking about today. Oh yeah, they were picked. They do have a chance. They have the best offensive line. Yeah, they do. They have a great set of receivers. They got a good tight end. They got a running game. They have a good defense. They have the only thing that they're kind of is the safety position. They got two lockdown corners. They got Bradbury and they got Slay.
All right, so let's say they win the NFC East, right? Who who are they going to be? Like, you think they're going to be like, you got the Bucks, you got Green Bay, you got who else you got in there? I mean, I don't.
If they have to come to Philly, I don't care what team it is, they're going to win in Philadelphia.
If they have to come to Philly,
if Tampa has to come up here,
okay, time out. Philly, First of all, I don't think they ain't gonna win the Super Bowl one. But let's just humor. I'm gonna humor you and say, okay, they're in it to win the Super Bowl. They have a chance by winning the conference.
Right.
I definitely do not believe that they're gonna win it and get home field advantage.
Why wouldn't they?
I don't think.
I'm just saying, because you heard about the center from, I think it was the center got hurt today with Tampa Bay.
Yes, Jensen. Yeah, that's
a big thing. That's a big deal. If Philadelphia gets home field advantage, they're beating Tampa. They're going to beat Green Bay or whoever has to come to Philadelphia.
That's a lot. First of all, the first if is Jalen Hurts going to produce, right? The conference by division. Okay. The second is that's one. So the one when you have to question that going into the season, that's a problem. Two, then you're questioning, go, oh, but if they come to Philly, they got a good chance. And I just don't, I don't think that they can get past a Green Bay. I don't think they can get past the Buccaneers. I don't think they're going to get past the NFC West, which is loaded. I don't see it. I don't see a team good enough. Now they did it before, so I could eat my words.
If they get home field advantage, they're going to beat any one of those teams. They're better than all of those teams.
When they won the Super Bowl, did they have home field advantage?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
But they won, though.
No, great. That's my point. I'm saying that they didn't have home field advantage, and they beat Brady. So but I don't think they had a home field advantage. They could have. All right, the Commanders. All right. They're talking about Carson Wentz, man. I mean, I don't know how this guy still gets so much press. I mean, he just seems to do well, right? But he just doesn't seem to be able to win when it counts.
I don't know the guy personally, but around here, when he was in Philadelphia, they think he has like a leadership issue problem, as far as people wanting to follow him. Because you figure if you're the quarterback, you want to be able to follow this guy through a brick wall. And for some reason in Philadelphia, he just his leadership skills were questioned.
Really?
And then when he went to the Colts, same thing, because he had good stats. If you look up his stats and and the Colts, the 1 year he was there, he had good stats. And then all of a sudden now you got to go. We'd rather have Matt Ryan. It's something about him that rubs people maybe the wrong way. I'm not saying it's gospel, but it's just weird that all of a sudden he done bounced around the way he has, even with good stats last year.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think he's got the talent, the tools, everything to be a great quarterback. He just doesn't have that it. Something's missing there.
Yeah, his teammates see it and the coaches see it, and that's why he keeps moving along.
Yeah, I mean, something definitely is happening there. So, all right, well, the training camps are getting away, are starting away. Everything's hitting up and getting exciting. Okay, so you think you're still with the Dallas and so forth. What do you think about what's going to happen with the Broncos in that division? I think AFC West projected starters for 2000 and Broncos look like contenders.
Yeah, because they have Russell Wilson. That makes them an instant playoff team. But like I keep saying before, and I'm gonna make John mad. He's the third best quarterback in that division.
Yeah, I guess the fourth would be Derek Carr.
Yes,
and he's pretty good.
And even him, I might move up since he has Devontae Adams now. So I might maybe move him right above Russell. And Russell's number 4 now.
Oh my God! Hold on. An ad came out. Are you there?
Yeah.
All right. So let's look at the divisions. Now, everybody's excited once training camp starts. What do you think about Julio Jones signing with the Bucs? I kind of figured you were going to say something.
I already told you why, man. Do I have to repeat myself? I'm going to repeat myself. The only reason they signed him is because they got to hold off and wait till Chris Godwin comes back in the middle of the season. Hopefully, Julio doesn't get all banged up like he usually does, and makes it through half the season. His foot, his ankle. What great player! I'm not gonna say it's not. He's been, over the last 5-10 years, he's been the top dog. But he's a lot older now, a little bit more dinged up. So we'll see. How he works out.
Okay, I think it's a good pickup for them.
Yeah, it is a real good pickup. He's on the cheap. He's veteran. Whatever they're going to pay him, and he should work out fine. But Tom, I'm sure Tom's not going to throw him passes where he's going to get killed. So he'll be all right. He'll fit in just fine with the Buccaneers.
All right, so let's go look at some of these standings here. Let's see what our early predictions are. All right, so let's say NFC East, the South. You know who I'm picking as the conference champs.
Yeah, I know, man. Gee, but don't sleep on the Saints, man. The Saints beat them all the time. They beat them twice. Matter of fact, I think they beat them 4 times.
Whatever the deal. Yeah, that was with Breeze.
Jameis is not bad at all. So
no, he isn't.
Michael Thomas is back, the top dog receiver.
Yeah,
so
I like him.
They're going to be fine, but they might win that conference. I mean, their division.
They might, but they won't. All right, NFC North. That's hands down Green Bay's division.
Why?
Who's going to beat them?
What receivers is he going to throw to?
It's Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, all right. Don't sleep on the Detroit Lions.
Who's the quarterback there?
Jared Goff.
Okay, yes. Isn't that the guy said that he's pretty good and this and that? Well, we'll see. And you were giving me a lot of crap.
Well, put it this way: as far as rankings with offensive line, they have a top 5 offensive line, the Detroit Lions. Watch.
Okay, I'm picking Green Bay. Who are you picking?
I'm going to pick Detroit.
All right. Oh my God, that is so bad. All right, NFC West. NFC West. Where would you go there?
Rams. You know why?
Why?
Because did you hear about Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray's contract?
Oh my God.
Yeah, we have to bring that up.
Let's get to that. Let's finish this and go into that because I want to get your perspective from what one of the announcers said that I kind of thought that made sense. But okay, so you got the Rams in this division. I'd probably pick the Rams as well. I think you don't sleep on San Francisco. You never know, but if they're starting Trey Lance, I don't.
Yeah, they're going to take a step back.
Yeah. I think in the East it's gonna be Buffalo again.
I'm gonna go with Miami Dolphins.
Really? That's it. Yeah. You're gonna make some of these South Florida fans happy over that one.
Because all right. Because Dable was the opposite coordinator with the Bills, so they're gonna take a step back because you're changing coordinators. And the coordinator now is I think the guy was Ken Dorsey, quarterback from the U. Okay. He's the opposite coordinator now.
All right, you're not going to take the Jets?
Ain't that crazy?
AFC South. Oh my God, this is easy. It should be Tennessee.
Nah, Indianapolis.
Indianapolis is pretty good too, though.
They got the best running back in football, Jonathan Taylor. They got a good offensive line, good defense, and they have a real quarterback now, Matt Ryan.
Yeah. I don't know. I still go with Tennessee. I like Henry, and I like Vrabel. AFC North. This is an interesting one. All right, this is a pretty good division right here.
Yes, it is. All 4 teams.
You got Lamar Jackson, who's not signed yet. They're thinking he may play the year without getting a new contract. You got Burrows is going to be that team's got some experience. They're going to be good. Their line is getting better. Cleveland, the jury's out there, and Pittsburgh, Tom has never had a losing season. So, so I don't know. I mean, out of this division, I'm going to go with Cincinnati because I like Burrows. This is more personal. Baltimore's always tough, and Lamar Jackson scares me. But I don't think any of the other two teams can win the conference.
I'm going with Baltimore.
You're going with Baltimore. All right. Well, I'm
Yes.
going with Cincinnati. You're going with Baltimore. I think that's still a good pick. Baltimore's always tough. I like Harbaugh too. He's a good coach. And you know how I feel about Tomlin. The Browns are just a disaster. AFC West. This is difficult.
No, it's not.
Oh, what you got?
Come on, man.
Kansas City.
Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, is it Los? Yeah, they are. Why did I have San Diego?
I don't know.
Yeah, I would pick the Chargers this year.
I'm going with Justin Herbert, the big guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Kansas City will make the playoffs. I just don't know if that sustaining power is still there. You know what I mean?
And they lost a lot, but getting rid of Tyreek Hill.
You're right. And I think Kelsey got hurt, no?
Nah, he's playing still. He'd be all right.
No. Yeah, they're dear beasts. All right, so let's get into hold on one second. Let me put you here. Let me stop sharing. Let's get into our little friend. Okay, hold on a second because I gotta move my nose on. Everybody see my nose. Let's start with Tyler Murray. Tell us the story.
Well, he saw, he was withholding his services or allegedly was trying to. Then they caved in, I guess, and gave a $230 million, whatever. I forgot what the guaranteed money was. And then they put the clause in there that he has to have 4 hours independent study, during the week, in the contract. I've never heard of that before.
But that's a detriment. It's not it was like his decision. He's acting like he doesn't need to study. That's what it is. In other words, they want him, they expect him to study more. And he got his agent to put in a contract that he only needs to study. That is his minimum he needs to do.
When I saw that, and I'm like, are you kidding me? And then when he turned around, he said there and said that he really hasn't watched film a lot, and he kind of lets it flow. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, really? This is the NFL. So you mean tell me you're going to go out there and basically play schoolyard football with against these guys that that have studied more film and done more things than you could imagine, and you're going to sit there and come up with, I'm just sort of you're not playing in Oklahoma again, where you can basically, you got all these 5-star, wide receivers, and you could just, just go deep. It don't work in the NFL. It's not going to work. And I'm sure Tom Brady head was probably spinning. I'm going to even bring him up. I'm sure he was sitting there like 4 hours a week. 4 hours a week. And you got to put that in your contract?
He does that in a day.
Yeah. I bet you he probably shows up at 6 o'clock in the morning, whatever time.
No, they said he's in at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, 5. And until what? Dinner time, 6. He puts in probably 12, 13 hours a day. Every day. And he's 45, he'll be 45 years old. and you got this kid, he's going, I really I'm just sort of never plays little backyard football,
he's the Allen Iverson of football. I don't need to practice.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna see how that works. We're gonna see how that works out.
Listen to me. The announcers were eating this up, and then there was an African American or black commentator, and he just feels that it's a bad precedent for black quarterbacks. It's like, he took it in a manner that he thought it was insulting for the position or for the future players. What are your thoughts on that? It's like, what is he doing? That's not how, what are you doing? He was in Shite. He was telling him that the commentator was telling him the hours of preparation these other guys do for a game, and they're not even the quarterback.
They all, you figure, all right, the linebacker, middle linebacker probably does, a lot of film study. Probably the safety does a lot of, film study. The cornerback, watching, the different receivers they're going to go up against. The offensive linemen, the guys they're going to block. Edge rushers, what picking up something, and you got to watch film. You got to watch a lot of film. You might go back a year. You might go back 2 years. You might go back 5 years just to pick up something. And for him to get on, actually, he didn't say it himself, but for that to be just put out there, that is insulting. As far as all these quarterbacks and even the guys that are second string and third string guys, they put in the time too. They're sitting there watching film because I don't know.
They got to be ready.
They have to be ready. And if they're not getting reps, in practice, they're watching film. And they're probably watching a lot of film. And for him to be the I don't know, the headline or whatever you want to call it, for the Cardinals, I would be mad as hell if I was the owner. Be like, really? You're gonna get up there and say you really don't watch film and you sort of just wing it like we're playing street football, whatever.
Well, they gave him a lot of money. I mean, he got a lot of money. He got a lot of guaranteed. And he's set for life. I mean, he's already set for life. How does that? It's got to affect the other guys in the locker room too. I mean, like, are they got to sign off on that or something? I mean, like, if he performs, everything's fine. If he doesn't perform, you don't think that they're going to hold this against him?
Of course.
And then not only that, if let's say he studies 12 hours, right? That's not what they're going to talk about. They're going to still think he's only doing a minimum of 4.
Yeah.
Because the way it's stated, the way it's stipulated, the assumption is that they did that as a favor because he doesn't even want to study.
Yeah, but why? Okay. I'm the owner of the team. I'm getting ready to give you $1 billion. And then the first thing, I'm going to sit there and see, I got to put what in the contract that to make you study, I got to do what? I'm going to get ready to give you $130 million guaranteed or whatever it is. And you're sitting here telling me that, you're going to wing it and you're going to play street football with my
how does the coach accept that?
What, what's his name? Kingsbury? My head would have been spinning as soon as I heard what? I know what? You want to do what? That's crazy. I'm getting ready to get this guy's money.
I am speechless to hear that. The speechless. I mean, I can't see how that trickle down effect is not going to affect just the team in general, right?
Well, you figure he's not going to have his receiver I think he's suspended. Hopkins suspended for something for 6 games or 8 games or whatever.
Look, it says a headline in a Bleacher Report: Kyler Murray's independent study contract clause reaction is disrespectful. It concerns his work, right? It's dismissed concerns about his work ethic, a topic when a notable clause is in his 5-year, $230 million contract.
How much did they guaranteed? Did they say that?
100 and something. Yeah, there's a multiple different ways to watch film. Of course, we all watch film. Blah blah blah. He complete 4 hours of independent study in weeks when the Cardinals have a game schedule. Oh my God!
Let's see. So you come in for treatment on Monday. I think Tuesday or Tuesday. I think they're mandatory day off. You got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You're traveling Saturday, probably Friday or Saturday, depending on where you're going. So he's got to squeak. He does 4 hours. I think they get well, you figure it's high tech now. So you have the tablets or whatever, they give these guys. So he can go home and be sitting there and look at, do what he has to do at home. It's not like he has to sit there while, I need film from whatever, home I'm getting ready to play. Take it home or email it or whatever they can do, however he gets it. But what's so hard about that? I'm making that kind of money. And all I got, I'm going to study. I want to be successful. I want to be somebody. I don't want to be the guy that, he's the one that, we had to put in a contract, to make sure that he studies. Come on, man. That's crazy.
Dude, I'm telling you, everybody is just hammering. He's not, it's questioning his work ethic. And one of the commentators just says, it's like, it was already a long time ago. It was hard enough for a black quarterback to get an opportunity. And then, several were trailblazers and led the way, and, things have changed. And it's almost like he's setting it backwards, right? What are you telling other owners? It's like, you don't want to put in the work. Your work ethic isn't there. You're just going to rely purely on talent. I mean, if that was the case, Ryan Leaf would have had a different career.
Murray's problem is that he's been so much better than everybody quarterback position than anybody else. He was undefeated in high school, never lost a game in high school. Went to OU, was successful there. Came Cardinal and been successful for the most part. But he's never faced adversity. He's never had to I gotta put the work in, a little bit more work in, because X, Y, Z. He's never had to do that. He's always been his whole life. And for him to sit there and say that was
what I don't understand is that it's in the contract, and it's got to be in there for one or two reasons. Right? Think about it, though. Now that I'm thinking about it, Byron, that has to be in the contract for one or two reasons. One, that it was at the table, because that's not in normal contracts, right? Your contract, they don't have contracts telling you how much you're studying.
Like that.
It's expected that you're going to be doing, or you know what I mean? So I guess the question relies on is that it comes to is the fact that it either had to be on the table for discussion about either from the ownership side saying, hey, listen, or the coach saying, look, we need you to be more prepared for games. We need to make sure that you're studying for games, or he wanted to put it in there. So he was left alone. Like that had to be like, how did that even come to a topic of discussion in contract negotiations? It has to be brought to the table. And the question is, who's brought it to the table?
I mean, the ownership, they probably know what this guy is doing and not doing, or the general manager, or maybe even the coach. Somebody in that little clique right there, has to know, that he's doing whatever he's doing, not doing, when he's away from there. Me as the owner, I wouldn't want to you're giving him $230 million, $230 million. To be average, because everybody, they're going to catch up to him, as far as the defensive coordinators, they will, as far as some of the things that he does, and all that sandlot football, it's not going to work. It's not going to work in the NFL.
No, and what about the fact that he's going to get older, so that little speed is not always going to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, here it is.
He was all dented up last year. He was all ankle or shoulder, whatever was wrong with him last year. But now I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna give him all this money. No way. I wouldn't do it. Especially, I gotta put in a contract. Nah, can't do it.
He's mad that over the reaction, how people are taking it. I mean, he should be. That is embarrassing. I mean, he's getting hammered from every race, from every commentator, from every place possible, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, I've never thought I would hear that.
What can he say to defend himself?
That's like being a baseball player and say, I'm not going to take batting practice.
Yeah. How can he defend himself? He can't. How can you defend yourself against that? There's nothing he can say, to justify any of that.
It also has a clause on baseball.
What, as far as if things get hard that he can't run back to baseball? Probably
has a clause about baseball. Includes triggers that it triggers a default to his guaranteed money should he have any involvement with organized baseball, a first round pick, blah blah blah. He's with $100 million plus in guaranteed salary.
Yeah,
I think it was like 123 or something like that.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to write a check for $100 million, man. I'm not sure this guy is going to be committed to be great. Not good, great. You got to put in the work to be great.
Yeah, and it had to be like I said, it had to be brought up because either he wasn't putting in the work, or they were giving him crap because he wasn't putting in the work, and he brought it up. So somewhere along the way, it had to come from somewhere. And normally when you're not putting in the work, it usually comes from management, right? Or the ownership or really the coach, right?
Right.
He's like, look, you're not seeing these things. You're missing these pieces in the game. And how do you expect to continue to evolve as a quarterback if you're not watching film? And it particularly against your own conference, right? You want to, yeah, I've seen guys, I'm sure you've had it too, that where they had files and books on every player they played against.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not film. It's still study. What does the guy do here? What are the tendencies? Yeah. What does he do in a blocking game? What doesn't he not like? How have I beaten him before? How has he beaten me before?
And you figure, every team that they play against, they have a book on him. They know what he can and can't do. They big old book. He can't do this. He can't do that. But then, how can he exploit somebody on the defensive side if he doesn't know
what they're going to do?
What they're going to do?
How they're going to react? Right? How are they disguising coverages? Right? What are you going to just come to the game and say, okay, they're covering this. They usually go to this. Something's there. And then I got one thing to compare it to. Okay, we're talking about like he wants to play on like Sandlot. In my opinion, one of the best guys that was able to get out of trouble and be able to play and win was Patrick Mahomes. Is Patrick Mahomes, who is 6'5", huge, and can run. But look what happened when that was all they were doing. The teams caught up to that, right? They had to play regular football, shorter passes, right? They had to drive it down the field, okay? They had to drive it down the field, right? So I don't know how he thinks he's going to get away with this. When Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs had to adjust, they had to adjust their game plan because you can't just count on that you can shift around enough and someone's going to be there to make a play.
He's been that much better than everybody on the field his whole life. He doesn't know any better, and he figures that he could do the same thing at the highest level.
But he hasn't yet.
No, he ain't. What has he done?
They had a really good season last year, but they didn't go deep in the playoffs.
Yeah, he got hurt.
He got hurt?
Yeah, he was hurt.
Oh my God. I just think that's terrible. I think I think he's getting what he deserves for whatever reason that came up. And now, unfortunately, he has to play a really, really good season to get this to pass. Because if not, it's going to linger with him.
All right, okay, we're gonna mix this up. You have Lamar Jackson, MVP, has done all kinds of stuff since he's been, in the league. He's working, he's trying to get a contract, out of the Baltimore Ravens. You got this guy, got $230 million, and hasn't really done anything since he's been there. So what do you think in Lamar's head is like, if this guy got that, I know I'm better than he is. I know I put in the work. I know I'm an MVP, I got an MVP, behind my name. So I want more than that.
Well, wait a second. You also got the benchmark of Deshaun Watson, who may not even play and got a $250 million contract.
Yeah, get all guaranteed.
Yeah, and he's and so I think Lamar's going to play without a contract because if he lights it up again, oh my God, I can't imagine the amount of money they're going to need to pay him.
Yeah, we're going to pay. We figure I think Patrick's is like $45 million or something like that a year or something. And I think what's his name? Aaron Rodgers is probably 50, I think, or some crazy number. So where do you put Lamar? He's got to be somewhere between 50 and 45.
Wow. And Dak's up there too, no? Dak's like 30.
He's 40 million. Mm-hmm. So Lamar is better than Dak. So 45 million.
I can't imagine what they're going to end up paying like guys like Justin Herbert, Burrow.
Yeah.
When
they were talking about that. They were sitting there like, man, you got Burrow, you got Justin Herbert.
It's a lot of money.
You're talking about one of the guys is going to be over. They're going to be over 50 maybe.
Yeah.
Way over 50.
If Burrow could take them back again,
he's definitely getting 50.
Yeah, he's gonna be up there, man, because he's young. He's been able to overcome adversity and he's been able to overcome injury. So I just think that's crazy.
Well,
All right,
they had to take his appendix out, so he's out for 2 weeks.
he's out. Yeah,
Appendicitis. Yeah, he'll be all right.
yeah, he'll be all right. It's appendicitis. It's not his hamstrings.
Yeah.
All right. All right, well, we'll be wrapping this up. We're getting excited. It's getting started. So those predictions I just thought were funny. It figures it was from Green Nation. So
take that flush it down the toilet.
You're taking down. All righty. So let's remember the Gary Sinise Foundation. Freedom and security are precious gifts that we as Americans should never take for granted. We must do all we can to extend our hand in times of need to those who willingly sacrifice each day to provide that freedom and security. While we can never do enough to show gratitude to our nation's defenders, we can always do a little more. Gary Sinise, that's GarySiniseFoundation.org. This is for our nation's defenders, our first responders. It really helps them out. So any contribution would be much appreciated. Join us next Thursday at 8 p.m. as training camp evolves, and hopefully there's less injuries that are taking place. What's that? 8 p.m. Don't forget to follow us. Also download us. You can see us on YouTube. We're live streaming, or you can just click on it, hit notifications for the sportscast. You'll know when we're on. You look for our podcast. It's worth it. We have some fun. As the football season progresses, we're going to probably be changing up from Zoom to Restream. We're going to figure it out, Byron, because I got to still look at that. But I'm excited for the season to get started. Kind of, because that just tells me more time is going by. So we'll see what happens. And for you, it just gets colder. So we will see what takes place. Well, my friend Byron, again, good show. Thank you very much. And we will stay tuned until next time.
Yes, sir.
See you later, brother.